Stranger Things. I know. Why am I talking about it right now? Well, first off, I haven't really done any videos on Stranger Things. I would have been doing a rewatch. I like to use the term a palate cleanser. It's something positive that I enjoy. It can be on, and I don't have to be like intricately immersed in it. I can just relive the experience, follow along, enjoy some moments and the performances. But I want to focus on episode 1 of season 1. Is this If it's not the best pilot ever, is it among the best pilot ever? And if it's not, what are some other good initial pilot episodes? Because this is really, really, really impressive. I was and in hindsight, this is even better than I thought it was. So let's get into it. Let's explain why, and tell you what I think. All right. So we have a brief introduction. Um, But what they do well in this episode is they set up 3 or 4 different story elements that make us really care and want to watch more, and they do it by giving us a little bit about the kids, right? So we get introduced to all of the kids, a little bit about their family, but more importantly, just about their life together as some friends, similar to what you see with, like, Stand By Me or even Goonies, right? Then you also have the setup and a continuation of some sort of event or something going on out in the woods, things like that. That is also sort of out there as well, right? Then you have Hopper and Hopper's storyline and his investigation that's going to come and do, right? That's going to unpack itself. And then we have Joyce and Jonathan. So as we kind of move through the story, because and you have sort of like these relationshipy moments and things like that that are kind of intertwined. This is where people spin their wheels. It's a lot of all this kind of stuff, but as things sort of unpack, and we're at this pivot point where like the vanishing of Will, right? So you have the stuff with the kids, who they are, their investigation or their concern, their emotional reaction. Joyce and her, being the mother. I'm not giving up hope. I'm going to investigate. I'm going to figure something out because something weird is going to be happening in her house. Then you have the investigation with Hopper, him as a person, him as a sheriff, him as like, listen, I live in this. He basically is like, I live in this small town. I'm this podunk sheriff. Nothing ever happens here. I'm sure there's a logical explanation, blah, blah, blah. And he's sort of like just going through the motions. He's not taking this seriously. So it's the story arc is about changing Hopper as well. So everything has its own thing in that. And then, of course, we have the whole introduction and the backstory of 11. Who is she? What can she do? How did she escape? Why is she out there? Those kinds of things. Again, kids are doing investigation. Hopper's doing investigation. Mom is doing investigation. And 11 is out in the wild. So you have multiple story arcs. I was really blown away at how good this was in the beginning. I think I thought of this tactic that they use, and they pretty much repeat the formula. It just doesn't always work in season 2 and 3 in particular of let's create 2 or 3 story arcs where everyone is really trying to get to the same place, but they're doing it in different um, journeys that affect them as characters, right? Because the kids are going to change and become different based on what's happened with Will. Obviously, everything with Elle is obviously new because she's never been outside of the lab, right? She changes everything. But think about how it changes Joyce, it changes Hopper. You have 3 or 4 story arcs and things that are all happening simultaneous, and just a mass number of characters that you are introduced to. Like this guy is showing Elle kindness and concern and things with just what a few minutes of screen time, and we actually kind of cared a little bit when things go sideways for him, right? I even thought about even like the extra parents, like the Wheelers. Now again, Mrs. Wheeler has a lot more story later on. Um, but yeah, Mr. Wheeler and stuff like that. You care a little bit about them all. Let's see. Yeah, the crazy lady, bicycle stuff, Steve. Yeah. Anyway, so I just really thought all of this was just, I mean, just a really I hadn't thought about it. Maybe I'm way off base and you guys are going to come up with like, 20 other shows that have better pilot or initial episodes than this one does. But this one, I mean, I did not even want to pause. I was literally trying to get to the next episode. I just wanted more. And I thought to myself, how often does that happen? Because that doesn't happen very often anymore. And then I thought about why do I feel that way? And it's because I have so many characters that I've quickly become invested in, right? Because even at this point, Luke is just kind of a jerk, right? He's going to become a jerk for a lot of season one with his relationship towards 11, things like that. And he changes dramatically. But I thought even like the extra characters, I'm like, I know a little bit about the teacher. I know a little bit about even the librarian that Hopper, I think, slept with, but we don't know anything about her ever again. I don't even think she ever comes up again. Okay. That's some good writing, and that's some good execution of a good story. That and this is why the show, I think, exploded, is it got out of the gate, and it didn't hit a home run. It hit, like, a newsworthy home run right out of the gate. So, that's why I'm doing this, do a few videos about Stranger Things because I it's my current palate cleanser with everything else going on, things to talk about. So, thanks so much for watching. Love to hear from you guys. I am Pops.